Good evening and welcome to this edition of The List on UWW-TV. I'm Matt Ellis alongside Nolan Zopydlowski. For the next few minutes, we'll present our top 5 sports stories of the week and discuss why they made the top 5. Did your top 5 make our list? Let's find out. Our number 5 sports story of the week, the U.S. government now considers WNBA star Brittany Griner as wrongfully detained by Russia. Griner, a 7-time All-Star with the Phoenix Mercury and a 2-time Olympic gold medalist with Team USA, was arrested in February at a Moscow airport where Russian officials said they discovered vape cartridges containing cannabis oil in her luggage. This offense could carry a sentence of up to 10 years in prison. This is a major shift in her case because this means officials will try to negotiate her release rather than let the Russian legal system play out. Nolan, what do you make of this news?
Well, yeah, honestly, I was a little surprised that it took this long. When I heard of Brittany Griner being detained in Russia, I thought for sure that there was going to be kind of an effort to pull her out of there. And, I'm glad that it's happening now because it does, appear to be that she was wrongfully detained. And so, yeah, it should be a major priority for the U.S. to get her out of there and make sure she can come back and play for the WNBA. At our number 4 sports story of the week, the Arizona Cardinals will not have DeAndre Hopkins on the field for their start of the 2022 season. The NFL announced on Monday that the Cardinals star receiver had been suspended 6 games for violating the NFL's policy on the use of performance-enhancing drugs. The suspension means that Hopkins will be out until mid-October. The loss of Hopkins is a devastating one for the Cardinals offense that struggles when he's out. With Hopkins out for the first 6 games, what will the Cardinals have to do to adjust their offense without their star wide receiver? And Matt, do you believe Kyler Murray can prove that he is an elite quarterback and be more successful this season without Hopkins?
Well, to start off, this offense just kind of needs DeAndre Hopkins. So to say, there's things they could do to kind of replace his production, it's just going to be hard. But the good news is Kyler Murray is still developing, and he's going to be a great quarterback. I would like to see Kyler Murray really just use his legs in this offense more, which is tough to ask for quarterbacks nowadays because these guys don't want to get injured. They want to keep playing for that contract, and honestly, that's what they deserve. But they're adding Marquise Brown, which could kind of spice things up. But look, I just don't think it was a move the Cardinals should have made acquiring Hollywood Brown. He's got a cool nickname, but his production on the field just kind of doesn't represent what the Cardinals need right now. At our number 3 spot, the Milwaukee Brewers saw their 5-game win streak come to an end on Sunday afternoon. The Crew dropped the 3rd game of the series 2-0 to their division rival, the Chicago Cubs. After scoring 20 runs in the first 2 games of the series, the Milwaukee Brewers offense only had 3 hits on Sunday. Corbin Burns finished his day with 7 innings pitched, 2 runs given up, and 10 strikeouts. It was the 3rd start in which Burns struck out 10 or more batters, tying Yovani Gallardo's team record. Next up, the Brewers will have a 3-game set against the Cincinnati Reds at home. What will you be watching for the Brewers to do, and can Corbin Burns get another Cy Young by the end of the season?
Well, look, Corbin Burns is obviously just continuing his dominance that started last season, and I'm sure there's going to be a number of guys in the NL who are competing for Cy Young. There are pretty much every year. But Corbin Burns has definitely made himself, or definitely put himself into that picture once again. He has had such quality starts, and really the entire Brewers pitching is really kind of carrying this team. But their offense has started to spice up a lot. Scoring 20 runs through the first 2 games, against the Chicago Cubs. It was just a huge offensive series for them. Now, the only thing will be, can they continue? Can they keep it going? That remains to be seen. But if the Brewers can get their offense in order, I wouldn't see why they wouldn't be one of the top teams for a World Series this year.
We have our thoughts on the NFL draft coming up on the list. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Jitters Coffee House. Located on the first floor of the Wells Towers, Jitters is a student-run coffee lounge and offers a variety of coffee and ice cream-based drinks and is home to many entertaining programs, including live music, gamer trivia nights, and other performances. Coordinate your activity by emailing jitters@uww.edu. Jitters is completely run by volunteers who can earn service hours and even receive a free drink during their shift. Stop in tonight at Jitters Coffee House, where fun events and community come together.
Welcome to the University Bookstore. The University Bookstore provides students with the opportunity to purchase apparel, gift items, textbooks, snacks, supplies, and other necessities right here on campus. The bookstore is also home to textbook rental, where you can find many of your required textbooks. Our friendly staff always goes the extra mile to provide customers with a quick and pleasant experience. Visit the bookstore today to find great deals on everything you need to succeed as a Warhawk.
The UC can get you connected to all your basic needs. Grab a coffee and a meal. Study by the fireplace. Bowl, play, and relax when you want to break from homework. The UC has much more to offer to Whitewater students. Go to the UC's website to see what's going on this week.
Welcome back to The List on UWW-TV. Let's continue the countdown to this week's top 2 sports stories. At our number 2 spot, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics are coming off dominant series wins in the first round. The Celtics took care of the Kevin Durant-led 7-seeded Brooklyn Nets in 4 games. Meanwhile, the Bucks split the first 2 games in Milwaukee versus the Bulls, then dominated the next 3 games. In Game 1 of this highly anticipated series, the Bucks struck first in their Eastern Conference semifinal showdown against the Celtics with an impressive 101-89 road win. Giannis Antetokounmpo led the way with a 24-point, 13-rebound, 12-assist triple-double to steal a game on the road. How important was it for the Bucks taking the first game on the road, do you think, Matt? And do you believe the Bucks can go up 2-0 on the Celtics before heading home to Milwaukee?
Yeah, I mean, to start off and take the first game of any series is definitely key because for Milwaukee, it sets the tone. Now, this is a championship team with championship expectations, so to go in there and grab Game 1 win just kind of sets the tone for Milwaukee. But going forward, just kind of talking about the rest of the series, it's definitely going to be tough for Milwaukee to keep this pace up. Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown are 2 very good players, and they're an elite tandem when paired together. Jason Tatum is now, starting to hit his stride within the league, and he's becoming a rising superstar, putting in, the work and being a, top 5 to 10 player in this league. So for those reasons alone, the scoring of those 2 are going to be a huge threat for Milwaukee, and the rest of the series is definitely going to be a good matchup. At our number 1 sports story of the week, the 2022 NFL Draft has come to a close, and it was one for the books. The NFL Draft saw multiple star wide receivers traded in the first round. Quarterbacks suffer historic falls into the third round, and 9 teams with multiple first-round picks. Georgia's Trayvon Walker went number 1 overall to the Jags, allowing the Lions to take what many consider to be the best player, Michigan's Aiden Hutchinson. After that, the moves were fairly predictable, defense ruled the night, and the quarterbacks fell. What are your thoughts on this draft, and who are the winners and losers, as well as how did the Packers do?
Well, to start off, I think this NFL Draft was one of the best ones we've seen in quite a while. I mean, the amount of trades that were going on and the star caliber of these trades. I mean, you look at A.J. Brown getting traded, Marquise Brown getting traded as well. I mean, it was crazy seeing some of these names being included in these trade packages, which are usually just picks. Now, as for the Packers, I really like their draft, honestly. I know a lot of people were knocking them early because they went defense with Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt, but I'm huge on Devontae Wyatt. I think Quay Walker might have been a little bit of a reach, but I'm okay with him. I'm okay with seeing how he will do. And I really like the day 2 pick of Christian Watson as their wide receiver and kind of their big guy that they wanted to get for receiver. As for everybody else, I mean, winners and losers, how can you not talk about the Jets when you're talking about winners with the first round they had? I mean, you look at getting Sauce Gardner at cornerback, a huge defensive piece, arguably one of the best defensive guys in the draft. You look at getting Garrett Wilson, the Ohio State wide receiver, and also trading to get a huge linebacker. You know, they had a fantastic draft, and overall, really there were a lot of decent picks and a lot to be kind of dissected in this draft.
And that will do it for this edition of The List. We'll be back next week on UWW TV to talk up more of the sports headlines. For Nolan, Zopydlowski, I'm Matt Ellis. See you next week.